In a village where trees whispered secrets and the wind carried the voices of the dead lived a young girl named Amara. She was just 15 when death knocked on her family's door, taking with it the warmth and wisdom of her mother, Grace. And with Grace gone, something darker came in. They buried Grace under the old Iroko tree like tradition demanded, but her spirit, it didn't rest. Every night, Grace's mother, Amara's grandmother, would wake up trembling, her eyes wide like the moon. "She came again," the old woman would say, clutching her wrapper. "She keeps saying, 'Don't let Victor raise her alone.'" The villagers whispered about it. Some said it was just grief. Others believed it. But Victor, Amara's father, a proud and respected man in the community, scoffed at the warnings. "She is my daughter," he barked. "No one can raise her better than me." And so it began. Victor became unusually protective of Amara. He wouldn't let her go to the stream with other girls. He pulled her out of school. "You will learn at home," he said. "From me," the grandmother pleaded. "Victor, she needs other women around her. This is not how a girl should grow." But Victor refused to listen. And one day, after a heated argument, he threw the old woman out of his house. Later that year, the grandmother fell ill. Some said it was a broken heart. Others said Grace had stopped visiting her dreams. She died quietly, clutching her Bible, whispering Amara's name. Amara began to feel something wasn't right, but she was too young to understand it fully. The first time it happened, she thought it was a dream. Her father had come into her room and touched her in ways she didn't understand. The next day, he acted like nothing happened. He even bought her sweets from the market. Then it happened again and again. Amara stopped smiling. Her eyes became distant, but who could she tell? The only woman who ever truly protected her was now in the ground. The abuse continued for years. Victor became obsessed with her. He called it love. He said, "I only do this because no one can love you like your father." She wanted to run, but where? Every time she packed her bag, he would find her and cry, saying he didn't know what came over him, that he loved her, that he was sick. She began to confuse his sickness for affection, and slowly something changed in her. By the time Amara turned 25, she no longer resisted. She had become emotionally numb, a silent prisoner in her father's house, wearing a smile that didn't touch her soul. At age 28, something shifted. A man named Michael, a kind teacher from the city, came to the village to open a community center. He noticed Amara at the market, soft-spoken, graceful, but always with a faraway look in her eyes. He was drawn to her. When he came to ask for her hand in marriage, Victor became enraged. "She is not ready?" he shouted. "She cannot leave me yet." But the elders stepped in. They said, "She is a woman now. Let her build her own life." Reluctantly, Victor agreed. But the day before the wedding, he knelt before Amara and said, "You will always belong to me." She looked at him and said nothing. Married life with Michael was strange. Amara was physically present, but emotionally hollow. She flinched at his touch. She cried at night. She stared at walls for hours. Michael tried to reach her, but her heart seemed locked in a room he had no key to. One night he whispered, "Amara, are you happy?" She didn't answer. But then one evening, everything unraveled. An old friend of Victor's, a drunk man from the village, visited Michael in town. After too many drinks, he leaned over and muttered, "So you're the one who married Victor's second wife?" Michael laughed. "Second wife? I married his daughter." The man shook his head. "Then you don't know what your village knows." Michael didn't sleep that night. The next morning, he confronted Amara. She wept. She begged. She confessed everything. Her voice shaking, her eyes wet, she said, "He was all I had. He said he loved me. I didn't know what was right anymore." Michael was frozen. "You mean all these years?" She nodded slowly. "Even I don't know who I am anymore." Michael left their home and never returned. Weeks passed. Victor died in his sleep, alone. No one cried at his funeral. Some said Grace's spirit had finally taken her revenge. Amara tried to end her life, but she was found and saved. The villagers pitied her, but no one welcomed her. Even her own shadow avoided her. She became a ghost in her own life, alive but not living. And so, Amara walks alone, a woman broken by the very man meant to shield her from the world, a victim, and yet a woman carrying shame like a second skin. And Michael? He sits in silence every night, wondering, did he marry a woman or a wound? Now we ask you, if you were Michael, would you stay? If you were Amara, would you ever forgive yourself? And if you were the world, would you dare speak up the next time silence covers a scream? Because in villages like ours, silence isn't golden, it's deadly. In the land where silence thrives, evil grows in shadows until someone speaks.